Welcome to the wacky presidential election system that we have in this country called the Electoral College. Americans often like to think that we're pretty unique, and in this circumstance, we absolutely are. There's not one other country that elects their leader in a method like we use. And again, ours is called the Electoral College system. So we're going to look a little bit about the Electoral College, some of the ins and the outs, some of the pros and the cons, and some of the alternatives that exist to this sort of very complicated presidential election system process. All right, number one, on the map, you will notice that every state has a number assigned to it. Okay, it's like, what does this number represent? This number actually represents the number of electors that each state is assigned within the Electoral College. Okay, so what's an elector? Well, the founding fathers, for a bunch of different reasons, were skeptical of regular, ordinary citizens to be able to make a proper decision in something as important as selecting the president of the United States. But they didn't want the president to just be appointed. People had to have some say. So there's like a compromise, kind of a meeting in the middle when they were devising this system. So when you go to vote on election day, you may be voting for Biden or Trump, but you're not actually voting for Biden or Trump. In the case of when you vote for the president, a vote for Biden is actually a vote for 20 Democratic electors in Pennsylvania. A vote for Trump is a vote for the sending of 20 Republican electors that are going to make the decision. So the founding fathers thought, okay, well, let regular people exercise their influence by the selection of electors. These people would be seemingly more educated and better equipped to make such an important decision. And depending on the outcome of your state's popular vote, meaning the actual votes from the people, that would determine which party got to send their, in the case of Pennsylvania, 20 electors. So in the case of 2016, Trump got more votes in Pennsylvania from citizens than Clinton did. What that meant is then that since Trump got more votes, the 20 Republican electors, individuals chosen by the state Pennsylvania State Republican Party, got to go to Harrisburg in December and actually each cast a vote for president. Right? Had Clinton gotten more votes in Pennsylvania, the 20 previously selected Democratic electors would have been sent to the state capitol in December to make that decision. So that's sort of what the presidential election is. The popular vote, the actual vote from the people, is determining which electors get to make the final decision come December. All right. So how do you get the number for each state? We know what the number is, but like, how do you get it? All right. Basically, you take the number of reps that your state has, which is based on population, and you add the number of senators that a state has, which is 2 for every state, and that gets you your Electoral College designated number. So if you subtract 2 from every number on this map, that's essentially how many representatives that state has of the 435. So you get your Electoral College number by adding reps and senators together. How many actual electors do you need to vote for you to actually win the presidential election? It's not enough to get more electors than your opponent. You have to get a majority. And the majority, the magic number that you need to secure to win the presidency, is 270. That's why the presidential election is often referred to as a race to 270, because whatever candidate earns the majority, at least 270, you become the president. In the rare circumstance that nobody gets the 270, the House of Representatives would actually get to choose the president from a vote amongst its own members. So again, that would be rare. Usually that would only potentially happen if you had an election where there were maybe more than 2 legitimate candidates. But as long as there's just 2 candidates, the chances of somebody not getting 270 are almost impossible.